what up, guys? Just finished a work block building systems for my clients to help them achieve their dream physique. And I've been thinking about something that completely changed the way I approach my lifestyle of leveling up and my training in specific, right? And by proxy, this has changed the results I've been getting by magnitudes. I want to first start, before going into this video, by giving a disclaimer that if you are someone who's looking for a quick dopamine hit, this video is not for you. This video is strictly for the people who want to level up and are looking to get keys to then apply to their life to see results. This video is going to be full of educational value. So if you're looking for a TikTok edit type of heavy edit video, this is not going to be it. Right? This is going to be a video with minimal edits and just raw educational value. So let's dive right in. So in this video, I'm going to be explaining and breaking down how I actually started building more muscle by doing less, and how the notion or the mindset of constantly going hard in the gym, the term beast mode, is far gone. If you're trying to achieve results, real results, sustainable results. Now this beast mode mindset was holding me back. About 6 months ago, me and my gym bro would basically have a competition between ourselves to not take a day off. We would go to the gym, work out until we were fatigued. We would be fatigued, we would be bloated, be inflamed. We looked good on the outside, but we knew that deep down inside we didn't feel our best, right? And so we were only able to perform our best by resorting to outside stimulants like caffeine, pre-workout, energy drinks, things of this nature, right? These are all things that we resorted to because we didn't take care of what was inside of us, right? And we didn't really necessarily have a focus on what we put inside of our bodies. And I want to say that since I've made this shift, I'm seeing better results. Not just better results, but I'm feeling better from the inside and out. And the fun and the beautiful thing about this is I actually enjoy training more now as opposed to when I did back then. And this is because of these things that I'm going to list out in the video and the shift that I've made. The thing that I realize is that most people, they do the right things, but they don't do it the right way. They go in with the right mindset of truly trying their best, right? They go in with their all. They leave everything on the table, but they don't do it the right way, which leads to an unsustainable process and system of which, your body will see the effect of, right? Now let's go into what actually builds muscle, okay? What actually builds muscle is your body actually being in a parasympathetic state. For those of you who don't know what parasympathetic means, it is a calm, rest and digest muscle building state. This is where muscle growth occurs. Your muscle growth will not occur if your body is constantly in a fight or flight state. Okay, so for all of you who are slamming pre-workouts, hitting the gym right after, stuffing your body with low quality food, you're getting low quality sleep, and right before you sleep, even before and after you wake up, you have a phone to your face. Your body never has a chance to actually go into rest and digest state. Your body is constantly in a fight or flight mode, which means muscle growth will not be optimal. This comes to the parasympathetic activities that you do outside of the gym. Everything from walking, eating, sleeping, breath work, meditation. All these things allow your body to actually calm itself down, get out of that fight and flight state, and to actually enter into that muscle building state. Now, another thing that prevents muscle growth or inhibits muscle growth is cortisol. The stress hormone cortisol would completely destroy your ability to build muscle as long as it's high, right? You need to find ways to calm that down. How do you do that? Through the things I mentioned earlier, through the activities that I've mentioned earlier, right? As long as cortisol is high, your body's not going to be building optimal muscle. So this also ties into, having a phone right in your face 24/7, not getting a chance to actually let your body breathe and let your nervous system reset, allowing your body to only consume, you're only consuming processed bullshit ingredients, right? All these things tie back into cortisol raising within your body, which inhibits muscle growth. Now, of course, I've made plenty of these mistakes in the past, right? I wasn't truly optimizing the foods that I was eating. That was a lot of wind. But in the past, I wasn't truly optimizing the food I was eating, and I also wasn't optimizing the things I was doing outside of the gym, which led to my inside not feeling just as good as my outside had looked. The pivot I made was from switching from hard, grueling, no planned out workouts to now having smart, intelligent sessions where I really focus on quality of the workout, quality of the contraction, right? I focus on things like good compound lifts and things that actually will allow my body to see the most optimal muscle growth for me. Now, these intentional decisions also tie into my diet. So I focused on simple whole foods. I focused on eating clean ingredients, right? Making sure that my food is ethically and cleanly sourced, because I'm a big proponent and big believer of your inputs determine your outputs. And if you put low quality gas in your engine can only function so good. But when you put high quality fuel inside of your body is going to perform at its best. So smart, intentional, intelligent decisions and swaps I made within my diet. Everything from eating beef, eggs, sauerkraut, raw milk, fruit, lots of fruit. All these things are high vibrational foods and would allow me to exude high vibration within my body, allowing me to then be truly feeling good from the inside and out. Now, outside of the gym, I also started walking more. I started sleeping better, having better quality sleep. I developed a nighttime routine to allow me to easily slip into that rest and digest parasympathetic state that I mentioned earlier. And I also rebalanced and rewired my dopamine. So I no longer get dopamine from the ways I got it in the past. I now earn my dopamine, which I have a video on my Instagram, which you guys can check out. Now, before we wrap up this video, I have some bonus tips to share with you guys, that encompass, in a nutshell, my recovery stack. These are things that I do on top of what I've listed earlier that continue to push the pedal on my progress so that I'm seeing even more results at a faster pace. One thing I started implementing was the smart diet hacks that I would do in the nighttime. Now, in the nighttime, everybody gets extremely hungry. This is where you have that voice in your head where it's like, okay, nobody's watching. You could eat whatever you want now. You don't got to track it. It's the end of the day. It doesn't matter. But this is where most people mess up their progress. Because in one night session in the kitchen, I'm pretty sure you guys know what could go down. Now, instead of fighting my cravings, I decided to make swaps. And one of these big swaps was resorting to frozen fruit as opposed to eating whatever I could get my hands on. Now, the thing about frozen fruit is it's not only low calorie, I could finish a whole bag and be full, but it also supports my goals of gut health as well as muscle growth, because I'm not inhibiting my body to come out of that rest and digest state. I'm maintaining in that rest and digest state, and I'm not giving my body something extremely complex to break down right before I go to bed. And fruit is easily digestible. It takes about a couple minutes for fruit to actually digest, which also supports that parasympathetic state. Next thing I did was prioritizing the source and quality and cleanliness of my foods. So instead of getting regular eggs, I would get pasture raised eggs, which has much more bioavailable nutrients as opposed to regular eggs. Instead of getting conventional beef from the store, I would get organic grass-fed, grass-finished ground beef, which has much more nutrients, and the cow lives a much more cleaner life, right? Which resorts to the muscle and the meat of the cow to actually be higher quality. Next thing I did was to really optimize my sleep, right? My sleep routine is now dialed in. I have everything in place to where my sleep routine is dialed in. You have to have quality sleep. Now, some people function off of 6 hours of sleep. Some people function off of 7, 8. I function anywhere in between 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Usually 7.5 hours of sleep is the sweet spot. But you need to find out what works for you. But I can tell you that the quickest ways to get quality sleep or drastically improve quality of your sleep is, for one, to make sure that the room is dark before you go to bed. 2, make sure that the room is slightly chilly. You don't want it to be hot. You want it to be slightly chilly for you to actually enter into that deep sleep, okay? The third thing is to avoid screens before you go to bed, okay? But you need to do these things that really optimize or at least improve the quality of your sleep, because I can tell you right now, if you have everything else in place besides your sleep, you're only going to be seeing so much growth. You need to have your sleep dialed in. Sleep is highly important for recovery. Okay, sleep is highly important for recovery. Daily breakfast is another thing. A lot of people would immediately wake up and go eat breakfast without having earned that food. And I think this ties back to caveman times, where they would wake up and not have access to food 24/7. Okay? Modern society now, we have access to food 24/7. So if you're eating every 30 minutes in a day, your gut's going to be wrecked because it never has time to actually enter into a digestive state, in a recovery state. And on top of that, your performance wouldn't be optimal. In caveman times, they would run for the food and then they would have a big feast after, having achieved the task of hunting down the animal. You have to tie this back into you as much as possible and align yourself with your biology. This comes with earning your food. My biggest meal is after my workout, and it is, just like all my other meals, very much nutritious, okay? Because you want to be fueling your body back up. You want to be replenishing your body after your workout. You don't want to eat a bullshit ass protein bar with 50 ingredients, with soy protein as the main protein source. Okay, your body needs quality to perform like quality. These are changes that you need to make into your routine and structure them in a way that fits best your lifestyle, because some of these things I've mentioned may not work for everyone, but this is where you need to find what worked best for you. And that's it for this video. This is why I stopped training like a beast and how to grow more muscle. And the changes I've made in this video have led to me seeing double the results in just half the time. So that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you in the next one. Peace.